Everyone, Mr. Comics 89 here. This is a Comic Collector's Corner podcast and YouTube show on my channel, Mr. Comics 89. We are reviewing Amazing Spider-Man number 13, Legacy 907, and Amazing Spider-Man number 14, Legacy 908. These are two very different issues. I mean, I can accurately describe one, the other one will be a little bit of a nightmare, because I barely understood it after 2 reads and listening to someone else talk about it on a podcast. So it was kind of like a ugh. Anyway, I gotta sneeze. I apologize in advance. My bad. Sorry. Anyway. Start with Amazing Spider-Man 13, Part 3 of the Hobgoblin little war that happened. First off, story by Zeb Wells and written by, Zeb Wells and John Romita artwork. Norman starts off with Norman screaming from the nurse, saying, "Call the cops! Spider-Man, my employee is, getting in trouble," because here comes 2 hobgoblins bearing down on him, and it is just Ned Leeds and Roger Kingsley just kicking the crap out of Spider-Man. I mean, he's dipping and diving. He's dodged up, dip, dive, and bam, because he didn't dodge. Flying all over the place, making jokes, gets thrown off, gets caught by Bug, his glider, in the Osborn suit. He's kind of flying for his life. Gets injured, his glider gets destroyed by one of the hobgoblins. And his mask destroyed, lying on the ground. I think it's Ned Leeds being controlled or by Roderick to a killing blow, and then right before it happens, here comes the Golden Goblin, Norman Osborn, to the rescue in the what would have been the Spider-Man 3 suit, and Norman makes short work of him. Spider-Man webs the AI up. He stops Norman from getting out of control, punching, or I think with Roderick, killing him. Norman gets checked out by his crew, who finds out that they didn't send his computer to his hospital room after the last issue to recover, that someone else did. Interesting. The Winkler device has been removed before the police got there, so Ned Leeds is in serious legal trouble. Roderick goes to some location where we find out that he's also being controlled with Winkler device by none other than the Queen Goblin. So, very interesting there. Alright. First and foremost, I had some issue with this book in the beginning. I mean, just a little bit. We'll start with the biggest key issue. There's a couple panels, like this one up here, and I apologize for those not listening or watching on this on YouTube. There's no spiderweb design. No, spiderwebs on this costume, but almost the same size, but just the reverse angle of the suit. There's the spiderwebs on this suit. If you read the beginning of the Ultimate Spider-Man with Ultimate Peter Parker, you'll know that right there in the beginning, he just had a solid red and blue suit. He looked like a I'm gonna say Mexican wrestler with their colorful uniforms. I forget what the proper term is. I apologize. But he looked like that. And then again, down here on some of the details, the same page, you just see the blue and the red, but you don't see the lines. I had a big problem with that. Some of the artwork in here just felt rushed. Those little details, these oversimplicity, these panels over here. What is the deal with the yellow in the background instead of the regular blue sky or a city, silhouette in the background? Why? I mean, are we so focused on what's happening with Peter and the glider that we don't want to take away from that? And so it's just focusing on that. That was an issue. One of the problems I had the first go around is, like I said, right here, after the Hobgoblin, they basically explode or destroy Spider-Man's helmet mask, and they leave him maskless on the ground, temporarily stunned, and both Hobgoblins are staring down at him, and they're not going like, "Who are you? This is Spider-Man." It was like, I had a problem with that in the beginning. I couldn't understand why they're literally looking down at his face and not like going, "I need to memorize this, take a picture. I'm going to find you later. I'm going to find your family later and make them suffer for everything you put me through." It wasn't until talking to other fans that I realized, oh, it's the ring, it's the hypnotic Winkler device on both of them, that they're both in a hypnotized state following orders. They're not going to rationally look at Peter Parker's exposed identity as Spider-Man and put two together. They are kill Spider-Man, kill Spider-Man, kill Spider-Man. And so that was explained away. But other than that, like I said, just a few of the small details. I mean, I had a problem again on how seriously Spider-Man was getting his butt kicked. Because, I remember him fighting 6 sets of Sinister Six during the Sinister War. Try saying that 6 times fast. Where he's handling basically 36 supervillains single-handedly. Getting his butt kicked, yes, but it's 36-1. He couldn't handle 2-on-1? Or at least put up more of a fight? I understand a well-coordinated ally can make it damn well impossible. But, seriously, I did not think that Peter would get his ass kicked so hard. It was just a little bit like disbelieving is like an excuse to, oh, we have to get the Golden Goblin to save Peter. It was like a plot device, something to move the story forward in a certain direction, not quite organic. So because I remember him getting his butt kicked royally by Vulture in that first issue, but then again, Vulture had more of a reason, I felt, than the Hobgoblin did to go after him so brutally. But other things, but I was like, okay, maybe so. I can kind of see sometimes you can have an off day, particularly the Hobgoblin, Goblin-like strength. It's possible, I guess. In the beginning, I gave this, when I read it digitally, B+, because of the small artwork problems. I couldn't quite give it to the A, but when I got a copy in my hands, I'm a physical reader. Holding this book in my hand now, flipping through the pages, and my eye can travel over both pages. Read it how it's supposed to be, but I can travel and take in everything at once. It's much more enjoyable to me, and my grade goes up 1 grade every time. So this B is gonna, my grade for issue number 13 is a A-. Officially is an A-. Just because I liked it a lot. Now, what made this book almost perfect, if the artwork details were fixed, it would have been almost a perfect grade. But I'm super excited because for the first time ever, I had an issue or a letter to the editor that I wrote published in this issue. Right up there. Very first one in the letter page. Mr. Comics 89 from Monte Vista, Colorado. So I was super excited. I mean, I have at least 4 covers of this issue and at least 3 of cover A. I have a lot of these actually. I must have bought a lot of these. At least 6, honestly. So that's because I was just so excited. So because I bought 1 issue to have graded, 1 issue to have to read, 1 issue that I bought from a store because I wanted to support that store, that kind of a thing. Anyway, again, ASM number 13, grade would be an A-. It's really good to have the Hobgoblins back. Super excited to have the Hobgoblins back. And I am enjoying. I like where this Queen Goblin story is going. I mean, it's a shame we're gonna have to wait till the end of Dark Web to see where Queen Goblin's headed. At least that's what I think. All right, issue number 14 of Amazing Spider-Man. Writing by Zeb Wells and the art. I'm not going there. All I know is I can tell you it's not JR who did, I mean, he did the cover, but I think, on the inside, you had, Spring, Michael Dowling, Summer, Kyle Holtz, Fall, Terry Dodson, Winter, Ryan Stegman. And the reason why I say that is because they basically divide this book up into, I think it was a slightly bigger than normal. And they divided this book up into like 4 seasons. The biggest con from this book straight away, I gotta say, the biggest con with this book straight away is no Ben Reilly. No Peter Parker. This is an all Ben Reilly ASM issue. So basically, Ben's missing year, or Ben missing time. So we open. Ben's coming back from a raiding Beyond's hangouts. He's hearing some sort of voice in his head, and he's planning, and he's trying to find the answers. Janine's asking why he's doing this stuff. Where does this end? He's like, I want my memories back, all of them, because I don't remember anything other than waking up at the Jackal's lab and very little after that. And most of my memories are pain. I don't remember meeting you, but I remember losing you. And she's, losing hope in him. And so Janine was like, almost like, I'm done, and leaves. She goes to Grand Central Station, where she's having eggs, and the owner sits down to eat with her, asking how she's going, whatever. And a very unsubtly, cashier, coffee woman was like, go on, the dishwasher will be late. We're here in 5 minutes. Which tips off Janine, the way she sounded, because it's like, I picked this up right away, that dishwasher was code for police arriving in 5 minutes. I picked that up right away, that you don't really do that. People don't say, oh, I'm going to be late to work, I'm out in 5 minutes. Usually are more than that. They especially don't tell the owner, that kind of thing. At least not in my experience. So she stabs his hand, breaks his leg because he tried to hold her in the booth. Runs back to Ben saying, let's burn down the world together, we'll get your memories back because I'm through with the world. And I'm with you to the end. As was it Captain America and Bucky said in Winter Soldier, I'm with you to the end of the line. That was their sentiment here. I gotta tell you, the costume for Chasm, Ben Reilly's Chasm, it doesn't look the same without the glowy residue, mystical vapors off of it. Looking at just a cloth, it doesn't look right. It needs that spooky quality. Summertime, Ben's stalking out Peter, for whatever reason. He comes across the debt collector who thinks, oh, Peter, you just dyed your hair. You can't hide from me. He's shoving him off. They got some sort of piece of skin. Ben and Janine did from beyond. That's decades old. That's someone's skin sample. Looks like a Dorito. But it's needed to fuel the machine. That's finally completed, and it takes through the doorway takes Ben to Limbo, where he meets Madeline Pryor, the clone of Jean Grey. And so they're just talking. They're talking after these demons that are following them around start fighting each other. And Janine and him are eating at the dinner table and fall in, I'm guessing, Limbo, making plans. We're gonna do this stuff. I'm gonna use your army. I'm gonna take New York. Gonna get what you want. We're gonna get both our lives are stolen from us, and we know where the thieves are. Janine's feeling, after he leaves dinner early, I'm guessing, or was whatever, because she's tired of being the third helpless will, or being the helpless will, the powerless sidekick. She wants power to stand with Ben. And Madeline Pryor basically gives her a finger of some demon or whatever, stabs her with it, says a mumble jumble spell, and a couple of masks are appearing, a witch, Frankenstein kind of a thing, and that she was many names: Elizabeth Tyne, Janine Godby, Sarah Porter, Mary Bailey. But she's gonna wear her own face now, or something like that, and she's gonna be Hallows Eve. Which is pretty cool. I like this. I like her having I like her having powers. I think it's really cool. I mean, that character was good for really nothing else, it seemed like. Why not give her powers? Anyway, we go to wintertime. He's still standing outside of Peter's place. That debt collector from Peter's hospital stay, whatever, is still coming by, and he attacks the debt collector after he sounds like he's calling him a fake Peter Parker. Beats him up, takes him to Limbo, because they're going to use him as an experiment for Madeline Pryor and his plan. They've grown some sort of tree that they're going to test out, and after the guy eats a seed from the tree, it basically turns his essence or his spirit or soul into some energy ball kind of a thing, that when Madeline Pryor inhales it, she knows him, his secrets and all that stuff. And so that is the plan for Ben Reilly to get his Peter Parker memories back. And again, their plans, after looking at the pot here, Madeline Pryor to get her life as Jean, and the baby that she lost, I guess it's Colossus, and Ben's gonna get his Spider-Man memories back. Anyway, like I said, I barely understood it. If I went into a complicated thing, that's because I barely understood this issue. From what I understand from reading it and other podcasts, it basically boils down to, it's almost like another clone story, clone saga story. You're gonna got two clones to go after their, not makers, but originals or whatever, and get what they feel is deserved to them. Madeline's case, I guess, is figuring out whether she truly belongs down there in Limbo, or she's queen of the Limbo. Well, I forgot to mention that. Or she belongs on Krakoa in Jean's place. I don't know. And Ben, honestly, Ben, grow up. I kind of like I like Ben. I think Ben Reilly as a character will stand best in the future here. I mean, he can have some Peter Parker core memories, but he needs to be his own person. You cannot, I don't think they can keep playing this clone issue. He needs to be his own character, and I truly feel that coming to grips with, okay, I lost the Peter Parker aspect of myself, but I know who Ben is, and Ben is me. I think I think Ben and Peter will work so much better in the future if they truly are brothers and not clones. That's what I feel. And so I hope that Dark Web will end that way. That Ben Reilly will accept that I'm your brother, I am not you. Anyway, my grade for this is complicated. Like I said, the artwork is not the worst I've seen. Spring and fall were definitely bad. I enjoyed the 90s look of summer, even if I didn't enjoy the radish face of Ben Reilly in summer. Hallows Eve definitely looked good, and I definitely enjoyed winter for that artwork. But yeah, let's see. Story was confusing as hell. Definitely dipped a lot down. I don't usually give bad grades, but I think I'm gonna have to give Amazing Spider-Man number 14 a. I'm gonna give it a D+. I didn't enjoy it. It was confusing. And from what I did understand, it was good. Limbo, Madeline. I mean, I'm looking forward now to understand where Madeline Pryor comes in. I'm looking forward to the plan now. Now I have a better idea what Dark Web's supposed to be like. I'm finally gonna get Ben to show up. But I think Ben's just acting like a spoiled brat. 14-year-old brat who's not getting his way. Ridiculous. And Janine as Hallows Eve is almost like the few redeeming qualities of this book, honestly, for me. So I give this book a D+. I will not. I just cannot give it a C. I had so much wrong with this book that I couldn't. It was tough for me to understand. It's not that I hated it, but I just couldn't love it. It was all right. It was a D+. Maybe if I understood it better, it'd be a C territory, but this is a D+. So, those of you who've followed me along here since I started doing these reviews, I've been very high on my grades. A's and B's, maybe even a C here. But I've never gone into D territory on any book on the Zeb Wells arc here, except for this issue. So quite the high-low here. ASM 13. Oh! I'm not going to show you because I already put the book away. But I got a second issue. I told you in this issue I got my first letter to the editor published. I had a second one published in the very next issue. So that is one of the few redeeming qualities in here. It doesn't affect the story, so it doesn't affect my grade. But it's just, I'm super excited. So this is my ASM review, 2-letter issues. But this is really definitely a high-low. No, 13 was again, A-. 14 was a D+. I mean, talk about a roller coaster. Hopefully the next, I think 3 or 4 issues of Amazing Spider-Man with Dark Web are better. If it's the same way as this, it's gonna be a rough next 2-3 months, that's for sure. Alright, take care everyone. Thank you for listening to this ASM podcast review of Amazing Spider-Man number issue 13 of 14 of volume 6. Stay tuned for future episodes of my ASM reviews, as well as those of you listening to the podcast when I eventually get back to doing community member review interviews and things like that. It's just been a super busy, super stressful last few months here that I just had not have the time to do much of anything. Plus I had surgery 2 months ago, and I've been healing from that, from my hernia. All's good, but again, been recovering. It's just been a interesting end of the year. So take care everyone. Happy collecting, and I'll see you guys next time. Talk to you later, and have a good night.